Had an interesting conversation one time with a lawyer that was working for one of the uh, divisions of the government, which would be government legal services and within Canada, and asked him whether or not the statement of birth record was a patent, and he said kind of. So his word was kind of. That's not a definite answer. That's a typical thing you can expect from generally lawyers when you get onto the subject of truth, because they kind of use truth to mix in with error in order to pull off the scam. So I'm not very. If you think that I have a dislike for lawyers, then you definitely been watching the videos correctly. So woe unto you lawyers. I feel the same way as Jesus Christ did. So these Pharisee-like mirrored individuals called the Bar Association, they are that. They're masters of deception, along with their leader that they're swear an oath to, the devil's advocate, and so their their direction, of course, is to operate in something fictitious. So they prey on you. They don't pray for you. So they're a PREY on you because they parasite off of your lack of knowledge of the difference between truth and fiction. So they work after they kind of like basically govern an incompetent, lost individual when they have lost their way from God and have entered into the hands of the devil. And so these are the manipulators of what you see out there. Now, there's a good reason why the lawyer would have said that the birth record the parents filled out, the statement of birth record that was filled out generally at the hospital, was nothing more than a hearsay document. It's just, you can't mix truth with fiction. You can attempt to do it, but there's a fail-safe in there. Truth can believe in fiction if it's deceived, as Eve was in the Garden of Eden. But the truth of the matter is, as far as a letter's patent goes, now we're walking into pure fiction. And so that a letter's patent, which is nothing more than these little certificates that the state put out that just says name on average, the one that is used when you go to the court. So just remember that the version of the name they're using doesn't really distinguish between given name and last name. It just says name. Therefore, it's a legal patent. It's not a natural thing, and therefore you can't patent something that's natural. That's a ridiculous concept. It's like trying to patent a pine tree. But when you leave it up to the genetically modified fraudsters out there with their legal teams, they'll try to do anything. So therefore, this birth certificate that we generally see that is used as the security instrument to walk you into registered sin and debt through a deception, is their legal patent that they're using for that. So it would make sense that they would like to genetically modify you by placing not only things in you that would make you that, but also making you the hybrid version of something that's between truth and fiction, between what is natural and what is not natural. And because the legal surname is a name not only that is blasphemous to truth, stating in law that it's in the legal system that is the name over and above the Christian name, trying to claim it's superior. That's a lie in itself, because natural law, God's law, is anterior and superior to positive law, which is man's law, or legislative law, statute law, all the things that you see in there passed by men, not by God. So we're definitely in a crossroads of making a choice. But remember that truth will always be superior to fiction. It will always take a higher position as long as you're willing to walk with that and talk with that and stand beside that, but not when you're playing both sides in a bad faith duplicity arrangement where you're willing to play both truth and fiction mixed together. So hopefully this video is giving you an understanding of that and how these documents work.